red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Discuss the latest news, just fans giving their views. This channel is red. They see the bar and raise it, plus they rep for the ladies. Trust it's red. See my voices in football. Red. If you want to talk up, it's a red channel for me and you. Subscribe and tune in to the Ladies in Red.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Ladies in Red. We're back with another Soph and Zeo show. To be fair, quite a lot has happened since last time we spoke, Zeo, and obviously we're going to delve into that as soon as. But firstly, thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing this evening?
Doing great. Thank you for having me. And yeah, excited to get into it.
Always a pleasure to have you on here, honestly. And like I said, we've got plenty to talk about in terms of United. We might as well get straight into it. I've seen you having a little natter in the chat with a few people as well, and obviously get involved in the chat and let us know your thoughts. But Ralf Rangnick, we thought, we've got this masterclass plan. He's going to be moving on upstairs. Ten Hag comes in, the ideal manager who we wanted. Hopefully they can work together to scout some of the best talents around the world, and we can start to rebuild United. Ralf hasn't even started his new role, and he's a gunner. I mean, when I read that news the other day, I didn't even say anything about it. I retweeted the tweet from United, but I didn't say anything about it because I kind of thought, you know what? I don't know what to say anymore. I do not know what to say anymore. I mean, Zeo, when you heard that news, I mean, what was your reaction?
I just thought it just shows how big of a mess that we're actually in. Even when we've got a plan, like before the plans even began to be executed, it's already breaking apart. And it's really disappointing because it's like we have one person that comes in that wants to make change. He leaves, and then another person comes in that wants to make change. We ain't having them all together. So it's like, I can imagine in meetings and stuff, people get like Ralf probably getting ganged up on with decisions. Yeah. And I feel like if it was him and Ten Hag there, it would have been another person on the same team in the right direction. But now Ten Hag's going to get ganged up on. And it's just, I don't know. Obviously, we don't know. We're not in there, but it just doesn't feel good. And it's just tiring. Like you said, when you saw it and you just retweeted it, I didn't even know what to say. I think I said some rubbish because I didn't even know what to say. I was just confused.
That's how I feel. Shivan there said Ralf exposing United problems. Do you think it is a case, which is a worrying sign? He spoke out against the club. He had no loyalty to those players. Didn't really hold back, obviously, in what he did. He was a very honest man. Not a case of another yes man, which we've been obviously exposed to. Ralf probably wasn't that yes man. Do you think it's a case of that? Like, we used him for what we needed him for in terms of the interim, and then we just moved him on. Is it a case that anybody who confronts or anybody who comes against the owners and against what the club's trying to do above, they get pushed out the door? Because that's worrying, because obviously we keep going down the same path and it just isn't working. We need change, and we were hoping this was going to be that change.
Yeah, it's a possibility that it's that, and it's also a possibility that he thought himself, why am I fighting against a brick wall or immovable object? Like, why am I doing this? I might as well just go to the Austria job. But yeah, it's just really, really worrying, and I don't know what to say about it. It just doesn't look good, does it? I was going to say something else. I don't know where I've lost it. I completely lost what it was.
Well, hopefully it comes back to you. James said, I'm not shocked that Rangnick has gone. He had a very tough job. But don't forget, he did the interim job, and yes, he did integrate as an interim job. I get that. But the idea was that he was going to move up to what his strength is, which is that consultancy role, which is recruiting players and getting certain personnel in. He hasn't even had a chance at that.
I've just remembered as well.
Go on, then.
I've just remembered. It kind of goes off that as well. Why it annoys me is because Ralf came in and quickly realised which players are just hype and which players have got bad attitudes and stuff like that. Now, I don't know how much information he would have passed on to Ten Hag, but Ten Hag's got to come in and decide for himself again. So it wouldn't surprise me if half the players that we were thinking, oh yeah, that player needs to get binned, that player isn't binned, because Ten Hag needs to play them and see them in match situations and blah, and see what happens when you give him instructions. Whereas if Ralf was still there, it'd be like, no, I told him this and he does this, and then do you get what I mean? But now it's just like a restart again, and that's really annoying to me. So we might see Maguire and Rashford. We want him to come good, but I don't know, man. It's just stressful, man.
Curtis said, yes, he spoke out. He laid it bare and he got hooked because they won't release the power. Player power again, says Tom. Players yet again getting a free pass. I think it needed to use it himself. United snaked Ralf. Paul Mitchell rejected us. We are screwed. And it's a shame that we're feeling like this, because you know what? Maybe it is a case that, you know what, Ralf wanted to focus more on the Austria thing. Like you say, we're not in there, are we? But the way it feels from a fan's perspective is we kind of lifted our spirits after what was a dreadful season. We knew we got the manager that majority of us wanted. We knew we had Ralf. Well, thought we knew we had Ralf going upstairs. Like I say, that is his strength. So for that to then fall apart before it's even started is really disheartening, isn't it? And Yeah, just when you think Banter FC can't get any more banter, we just do something like this, and it's just Hell
I
on Wheel says, sorry, go on, Joe.
I even had Liverpool friends who were Liverpool fans, like saying how worried they were that Ralph was going upstairs with Ten Hag underneath him, Ralph bringing in the players and Ten Hag and him deciding that. They said they were really worried by that because they're saying how Klopp often used to steal Ralph's players that he wanted.
Mhm.
So they were really worried by that. And now he's just gone. So it's just like, who's upstairs? Who's going to bring him? I don't know. Sorry, carry on.
Helga Mill says, I'm so upset and disappointed. I don't have words. That's literally what we're finding right now. We don't have the words to say. We finally have a guy with top hand knowledge, his strength, which is building and recruitment, and we fired him for doing his job. Well, let's just say we let him go. Yeah. Keeps said there were stories that Ralph and Ten Hag had different opinions on how, and that's what I mean. If that is the case, then fair enough. Do you know what I mean? We're not there. We don't see.
Yeah, that's what
Obviously,
they
we
would
have
like
to
us
back.
to believe, though. That one.
Of course, and yeah. I think it just shows like we employ this guy to do this role and then we don't even go through with it. It just shows that a decision making above just is an absolute shambles. The board's
me ask
mentality
this
is just weak. They
as
don't
well.
want people to expose their problems. Go on, Zeo.
Wasn't Ralph major part of the decision for the manager?
I believe so.
He was meant to be picking. He was meant to be major in picking. So you believe that he picked Ten Hag, and then they both had different opinions on how to take it forward. They never spoke about it when he was considering him. Like, do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it isn't, but I just find that strange, and I find that the one to get fans on side, and I ain't having that.
I agree with Tom here. Of course, we've got to give Eric Ten Hag the chance. We've got to back him as fans. We've got to be patient. But my question to you is, when Ten Hag, hopefully it doesn't happen, but say he loses 2 or 3 games, 4 games in a row, are people going to stay loyal to him? Are the club going to stay loyal to him? Or are they going to come for his head? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just worrying, isn't it? When you see decisions like this happening with the likes of Ralph, someone who you think, you know what, he's really going to benefit us. And someone said there, like, it'd be much stronger if Ralph was behind Ten Hag. You said you had rival fans contacting you saying they're worried about that. Ralph then going again, for me, has weakened us yet again. Because in that area, it's somewhere that we've said we've needed for a long, long time. And we felt like we had the perfect guy to do that. I bet the board don't even watch us play. Would not be surprised. Ralph was brought in to protect the fans. Ten Hag is brought in no strategy other than self-preservation. Feels that way, Andrew. Feels that way. Ralph is paying the price for providing a glimpse of behind the curtain. The Glazers are the Wizard of Oz. It does feel like he exposed a lot of the issues and the Glazers haven't liked that. That's the way it feels from the fans' perspective. That's how it looks from the outside in, doesn't it? James said there's too many egos in that United dressing room. You can tell the board's intentions is always just making money, not to win trophies. Arsenal have had that problem, and so does my club. Yeah, you can see that from a mile. And obviously, we are going to. Some players will be leaving soon and whatnot. And we've said it all along. We'll have young players coming up. I want to ask you: did you watch the playoff final the other day? Did you see Garner playing for Forest?
No, I didn't. I was out. I was out in danger when Forest won because everyone was going mad in Nottingham because that's where I'm living now. Jeez, man.
Oh, sorry. I bet the atmosphere was good though, to be fair. But I'm glad Forest went up. I'm glad they went up, and especially for Garner. He obviously played a big role in that as well. But players like that obviously coming back as well, we're going to have a look at. And we said that we may be turning to a few of them. We don't see we're going to invest in 10 players, for example, in the summer, which is probably what we realistically need. But looking at the players that we could be getting, I mean, Timber is one that I know we've spoken about a lot. And I saw Brush in the comments talking to you about it, saying that he thought that deal would have been done over the line. It's not been done over the line. Do we then move on to our next target? I think Timber's come out today and he said basically he's going to let his gut decide where he decides to go at the end of the season, well, the start of the season. 50 million, I believe, is a rough price for him. Like, do you think we should be going for players like that? I mean, De Jong is another one that I know has been talked about a lot because of the Barcelona financial situation. Is Ten Hag, I think my question is really, do you fully believe Ten Hag is going to be backed in this transfer window?
No, I think he's going to have to keep players he doesn't want to keep. More so, he might be backed for who he wants, but he might lose. It depends. Okay, sorry. Ten Hag wants a player. If no one else wants him, Ten Hag will get that player. If someone else wants him, we'll lose.
Yeah.
Because we'll mess about with it, or the other team will just be a team on track when we're not, so they'll go there. And I think he'll keep players that he doesn't want. I think that they'll force him to keep certain players that he doesn't want. So overall, he will be backed to a certain extent, but to the level that he's used to, probably when at the team that he was at, no. He's going to be shocked of how lack of control he's got, I reckon.
No, we can now see Ten Hag won't be backed in the manner we think. The budget won't be 200 million. I don't think it would either. Bruce said,
Nowhere
geez, he's
near.
20 years old from the Dutch league and it's 50 million. Helgon Will said there, it's United tax hun. And we all know about United tax, of course. It's like the people doing the board don't have the ball knowledge or don't watch football at all. It's a business. It's a business, them, isn't it? Yeah, 50 million euros for Timber. I thought it was 50 million euros for Timber. That's a lot of money for a 20-year-old, isn't it? Who had a very obviously decent season and whatnot. A lot of people are a bit unsure about his height because he isn't the tallest in terms of Premier League centre backs. But we'll see what happens. Ten Hag has worked with him in the past, that is a benefit. But I do worry about how much he's actually going to be backed come the summer. Another question. And I saw a lot of people debating this on Twitter and whatnot. Where it came from, I do not know. I don't for a second believe it will happen. But if Kante became available from Chelsea, would you take him at United? 31 years old, had a few injuries this season as well. But he's better than what we've got. That's all I'm going to say. He's better than what we've got. Would you take Kante? And in the chat, let me know as well. Do you think that would be a good move for us?
If we're gonna get nothing, like if you would have asked me last season, knowing in hindsight what our season was and what we had, I would like 1,000,000% take him. But if we're gonna actually be sensible and do what we should have done over the past like 9 seasons, then no, because we need to get a younger player that's on the rise in that position. In my opinion, even if he's not going to be as good as Kante, someone that's going to grow into it and become a Man United legend. So no, but if we're gonna if Ten Hag's going to be forced to keep what he's got and Matic is gone and they're not going to replace him, then yes, because I can't bear to watch that position wide open again.
Yeah, I think Kante will take as long as he wasn't the sole midfield signing. Maybe get a younger apprentice, do you know what I mean? Someone with Kante.
How much is he going to cost?
Definitely. Well, he's basically his contract's running out. I think he's going to do an extension with Chelsea, and that's why the rumours are he's going to sign a new extension with Chelsea. We might be able to get him for a decent price. But his age obviously has to be a worry because he's 31. He has had his injury concerns, but that midfield, you have to say, he massively improves us, definitely. He's a player that I've always wanted at United. But there are other targets that you'd probably say you get on less wages at a younger age. If you just go and look, I know Lehmann's one that a lot of people would like at United. I know he's been linked a lot with Bayern Munich. I just read today that Bayern Munich are really interested. But that's an option. Like, do you know what I mean? There are players who are cheaper, but you know what? You get him with Kante. And I think that's the big selling point. He's done it for years and years and years. The guy's got 4 lungs, like he can just keep running forever. And I just think we need a bit of that in our midfield. But I'll definitely take him. I just can't see it happening. I can't see, like Bruce said there, I can't see Chelsea letting him go for peanuts. And also, particularly for us to get Kante just as Pogba leaves, because Kante and Pogba would be perfect. Wouldn't it? Kante and Pogba would be the perfect midfield. But yeah, who knows if that's going to happen or not. And the other option is obviously Frenkie de Jong. I know we briefly spoke about him before, but obviously these rumours are still going in terms of the financial situation at Barcelona. I read today is it 2 new signings that they can't list because basically the financial fair play, they just can't enrol them. So maybe they do need to sell. And de Jong obviously would release a lot of wages. But yeah, with de Jong, is he an option that you think we should be going for? Or do you again think we should be going for the lesser known players? The gems, if you like.
I like the thought of de Jong though, because playing under Ten Hag and reunion, and he knows his attitude, he knows how to play under him. He's going to be like, instead of just being coached into Ten Hag's way of football by Ten Hag, you're going to have Ten Hag, de Jong, and Van der Beek saying to the players, no, you need to do this. No, you need to. Do you get what I mean? So we've got 2 players already in the middle that know what they're doing already, instead of everyone being confused. So I like it for that reason. It is a lot of money, but I do think it helps put us on the track faster. So that's the reason I do like it. And out of all the ones you've mentioned, that's the main one for me. But will he come?
That's the big question, is it? Because he wants Champions League football for one. He loves it at Barcelona, according to his quotes. He's happy to stay there. He said he hasn't heard anything from the club regarding obviously the financial situation and the need for him to move. So everything is pointing to the fact that he doesn't want to come to United. He wants to stay. But he did also not refer to. They said basically, have you been in touch with Erik ten Hag? And he said, I'm not going to comment on that. So there is that link there between the player and the manager. So we'll see. I think watch his space. Yeah, exactly. I think watch his space with that one. But he's obviously a player that I would rather. His ideal is to stay at Barcelona. But if it is an economical thing and they've got to sell, then obviously we'll see what happens. But that is a lot of money. If it's a case where they've got to sell him, maybe we could get him a little less. Who knows on that situation? But we should see. But in terms of our squad, there's a lot of players that we've already said we know that we need to get rid of. A lot of players we'd like to get rid of. Who do you actually see going in this summer? Because obviously there's loads of Lingard, Pogba, Like, is there anyone else like Martial, for example? Sophia were really not impressed with him. Like, can you see? Has he got a second wind at United, or do you think his time is done? Will he be used maybe in a deal elsewhere?
Martial's a tough one. If I'm going to completely guess, I'm going to say that he's staying to see how it goes under this new manager. But
Yeah.
it is a tough one. I think, maybe Martial will fit better into the way Ten Hag wants to play than the players that we currently got there.
Yeah.
So I think Martial will probably have another season. Martial is done for me. Oh gosh.
I heard Martial is coming back.
I think he will. I think he'll be back. What
He'll
type of
surely want to
Martial?
have a look at him.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he'll just dash Martial.
Yeah. I feel Kante is to keep Pogba. Happy with that, but
gone.
no way. Yeah, I think Pogba's gone as well. He's releasing a documentary series thing today, isn't he? I saw a little clip of it on Twitter as well. But yeah, I think he's gone. I did read, I think it was this morning, I don't know who it was from on Twitter, and obviously I'm not saying it's gospel or anything like that, but I read that Juventus are possibly working on Pogba and Di Maria for free in this transfer window.
Oh my God.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. He doesn't want to be here. I agree with that. De Jong is a potential future captain for me. If not this season, definitely the next. He's a very good player. I'm not disputing that. I think De Jong is a great player. I don't know. I don't think he'll come. I don't think he'll come. Unless he's forced out the door. He obviously wants to stay in Champions League and at Barcelona. If the budget is what we think, they cannot afford to sell Martial or Delo, but they are on their last years of contract. More players are leaving for free.
Yeah. I think Martial will leave for free, actually. That's why I think I didn't think about that. I think he'll leave for free. I think he'll ride out this season and see what happens, and I think he'll be gone. He won't sign nothing.
Yeah. Lawbreaker reckons Wan-Bissaka, Tellers, Jones, Pereira, Martial and Pogba will be the ones going. A lot of people want Tellers going,
I know one team
getting someone else.
Why do people feel like he's going? I don't feel like he's going.
You don't think he's going?
Nah, neither. I don't think Wan-Bissaka's going anywhere either. He can't go.
Wan-Bissaka. I know
go
Palace apparently interested in Wan-Bissaka back.
But Man United will not sell him for much less than what they paid for him because that's how stupid they are. Like they'll be like, we need to get that money back, and then they'll wait for his contract. They'll wait for his contract to go all the way down. Yeah, that's what I mean. So I don't think Wan-Bissaka can go anywhere because I don't think anyone will want to pay what we want.
We'll take Elise or Eze in return. I'll take that, definitely. Yeah, I'm hopeful for Wan-Bissaka and Donny. Says
Wan-Bissaka's not fitting into Man United football.
Palace want Donny as well. I read that too. Palace want Donny and Wan-Bissaka.
Donny's staying.
You'd think with Ten Hag, you'd think he's staying.
Got to.
Curler said, Zeo, if we sign Timber, Wan-Bissaka will be sold. He can play right back. Yeah, Timber can play right back as well.
For how much?
Palace.
20 million.
Have him. And a bag
20
of
million.
crisps.
You think Man U are taking 20? You think Man U are taking 20 million?
Yeah, get him off our wage bill though. Like how much money is on?
You think they're going to lose 40 million? How many years?
Yeah.
2 years.
We've lost Pogba twice on a free, and you're questioning how stupid this could be.
Yeah, but that's not in their control. This is in their control. They're not. They're not going to do it.
They'll let it run down though. To be fair, but we'll see. It is right though, because if he doesn't fit into Ten Hag's system though,
I know, but they'll say nah.
Some money on him. Do you know what I mean?
They'll say nah, man. Like it's not Ten Hag's choice.
James obviously saw quite a bit of on last season. I wish Donny van der Beek well for next season. I was excited when he joined us on loan, but too many injuries affected his game time. Unfortunately, he did get injured quite a bit, which is unfortunate. I was looking forward to seeing him at Everton. I remember doing a show on that, talking about him going to Everton, excited to see him in the Premier League. And unfortunately, his injuries did kind of hinder that. But I'm hoping you like what you saw of him, though, James. Darmian would be killing it for us, and we sold him for 1 million. That was a mad one as well. I was shocked that we got rid of Darmian, to be fair. Ten Hag will want Wan-Bissaka gone to get cash back.
Costs too much money, man. He costs too much money.
Helgon Will said, I hear you, so put on with Zeo on his summary on De Jong, and no way we will sell Donny. Him and Frankie De Jong tore it up in Ajax. With Ten Hag, I can't see Donny going just yet. Maybe if he's had a season and he's kind of flopped, but he hasn't really been given a fair chance. You've got to give him a chance in the United shirt. And as James said there, injuries have kind of affected him. Controversial one here says McTominay should be gone as well.
No way. He's got to stay. No way. Who would I
wouldn't know.
No way.
But I know a lot of United fans would.
What? Oh my God. Man are acting like we're living in luxury or something. Like we've got all these players that McTominay is a dependable player. Yes, he's frustrating, but out of half the players that we've got there, he's a dependable player. Stop acting like we're City or Liverpool where we've got all this luxury. We ain't got no luxury.
Who would you
McTominay.
rather see in our midfield next year, Garner or McTominay?
McTominay, because I don't think Garner's going to be able to play as many games as McTominay played with the consistency of McTominay.
Obviously, he's back in the Premier League. Well, Forest back into
I'm
the
not saying he won't be good. But like, I can't see him jumping into that position and just being like, yeah, let's dash McTominay. No, I don't think that's what happens with young players like that.
It'd be interesting to see. For me, McTominay's a squad player. Yeah. I'll hear you. I'm saying I wouldn't sell him either, but I also wouldn't start him every game. Do you know what I mean? That's where I stand with McTominay. There's better quality midfielders.
Go on there and break up play. Go on there and annoy them. Go on there and commit some fouls. Like that type of player that's going to do.
Yeah, and he seems like a good kind of player to have in the dressing room as well. You know what I mean? He's United through and through. A lot of people say he's a leader, even though he's young. Like, I would keep him as a squad player, but I wouldn't keep him he should be starting most games. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's where the level has been for us. We've had players who shouldn't be anywhere near really the starting lineup who have been starting. McTominay's the only player who actually looks like they want to. Exactly, that's what I mean. Like, he's good. You got to keep him. I agree, so that's what I'm saying. We keep him. But yeah, in terms of that midfield, it's a massive worry. Obviously, De Jong we've been linked to, Kante we've been linked to, but all these links, I'll be honest, I don't believe anything. I always say this until they're holding the shirt, and I stand by that. I do not believe anything. But it just feels. I mean, there was rumours the other day that Spurs are going to sign Perisic. Today, it's a picture of him. He's signed a contract. He's a now Spurs player. Like, why don't we get deals done that quick?
So sad, isn't it? It annoys me.
Do you know what I mean? Why do we drag out these deals so much? I don't get it. And it's something that we always seem to do. We always seem to drag it out, and I don't get it.
I think it's a case of it's a mixture of players pretending that they're coming to Man United to get a better deal somewhere else when it was nothing to do with us. So we get excited thinking, oh my God. And then it gets dragged out and it was nothing to do with us anyway. And Man United like that whole PR spin. So they just let it run like that. And then a mixture of when we do want a player, we do mess about. So I think it's a mixture of both. So it feels like extra added annoyance. But yeah, I think no one makes up a rumor of going to Spurs, do they? To just make it up.
It's a good signing, that though. I think that is a good signing, I'll be honest. Perisic to Spurs were not expected. Good, consistent player. Obviously, we've been linked with him in the past. We have 4 weeks to get target players into the tour. And that is going to tell. Is that going to happen? Hell no. So do you know what this means? So 7 players are leaving and won't be replaced, but with only a youth. Exactly. 4 weeks. And look at the rebuild that we're saying we've got to have. We've got to get quite a few players in, quite a few players out.
I think we're going to get 3. I think we're going to get 3 players in, and I think we're going to have about 5 out.
So what would your bet, if you had to put a bet now on 3 players that you saw coming into United, judged on what we've heard, rumours-wise, like who do you think is coming in?
I think Frankie de Jong's coming. I think... Was there an Nkunku rumour the other day? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think Frankie de Jong's coming. I think a striker's coming around Nkunku level striker. And I think we're going to get a centre-back.
Timber, maybe?
I don't know if it will be him. I don't know, but I think.
Or Pau Torres is another one that apparently has been discussed internally as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shivan says Timber will be our first signing this summer. Everyone get in the chat. Let me know who you think we're going to sign. And De Jong said no to us today. He wants to stay at Barcelona. He does
not have the choice, though. I don't think he's going to have the choice.
Yeah. If it is a financial thing with Barcelona, I know they can't register 2 of their new signings because of financial fair play and whatnot. So it could be a case they have to free up some money. That's the only way I can see Frankie de Jong coming to us. I'll be honest. That's the only way I can see it happening. I feel this has changed after Woodward left. Less Hollywood rumours. There's always rumours around United. We know he sells papers, he sells headlines, he gets us fans, as you say, excited. It does my head in. I saw a tweet on Twitter, I think it was yesterday, and basically it was someone saying that Timber and De Jong are both booked in to have their medicals at Carrington on such and such day. God. And I'm thinking before they get
both of them at once, yeah, right.
Before they've even signed them, okay then, like you have to sign players first, surely. Like, yeah, I'm sick of the rumours already.
It's horrible.
It's crazy on Twitter, like crazy. I think Timber will sign for your United, but later in the transfer window, Ten Hag will make it happen. Nunes for 60 million and Timber, Torres, it's all we are really linked to. Nunes, though, especially now, obviously Mane, we believe, will be going to Bayern Munich. They need a striker. They've been saying it for a while, they need a striker Liverpool. Do you think Nunes could possibly end up there, though? And as usual, our names gets put into it just to try and get a better deal for that player, because you think he's going to win Champions League? Another one who's going to win Champions League football, unless he wants to buy into the project, then Ten Hag can sell the project to him. like you'd think Champions League football's where's he going to be at.
Do you remember how much Jota cost?
Can't remember how much it was. Can't remember.
The reason I ask, if anyone remembers, is because I can't see Liverpool spending 60 million on this.
Is it a 30 million for Mane? Is that what Bayern are paying? 30 mil?
Is it? I can't
Yeah, I
see
think so.
Liverpool. I can't see Liverpool selling him for 30 and then spending 60. Like Liverpool don't seem to do things like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Like
Yeah.
I would say he's not going there. I would say they're going to end up with another world 35 mil. See, I don't think they're going to do it. Yeah, I don't think they're stretching to 60. And to be fair, that Diaz, like, do Liverpool need a striker?
Well, Liverpool
like
fans after the Champions League, after I annoyed a few of them on Doug's channel the other day and got called a few names, but a lot of them were saying that they felt they lacked. I can't repeat what was called on that, and all I said was unlucky, pretty much. And it made me happy as a United fan, but yeah, rattled, obviously, still a bit emotional.
They need a striker.
They were saying that they felt that if they had a striker in that game at number 9, then they would have won. And they did have quite a few chances, to be fair. But, I mean, Harry Kane has been uttered, obviously Lewandowski now as well, his situation, but you do feel like he's going to be going to Barcelona.
Yeah.
That's more money they're going to free up as well.
That's what I mean. How can Lewandowski go there and they keep De Jong? Like, where we're going to be beating down the door for De Jong as well. Like, I can't see it.
If you get those 3 right, Zeo, I'll be over the moon, but we still need a CDM. That's why I would take Kante short term. I would take Kante short. If it is, and we had a similar discussion, didn't we? I forgot who. Oh, we were talking about Dembele. And I was saying to you, if we've exhausted all of our options and we still haven't improved on the squad we've got towards the end of the window, then I'll be going in for a player like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If Kante is still available, if we've exhausted all of the younger options that we keep talking about, why not? It's better than what we've got. Why not? Do you know what I mean? And I know we can't go in for the short term.
The gap's too big to have no one.
Exactly, especially with the players that we've got going out, and that's where I'm thinking from. But yeah, Liverpool do need cover for Diaz though. Squad depth is key, especially with 5 subs next season. Just imagine our 5. We'll have Pereira back on our bench. You watch next season. That's how it's looking at the minute.
That we will, because Ten Hag's gonna come in. He's not gonna know anything, and he's gonna be like, "Oh my god, why have you not been playing this guy?"
It is. Dude, thank you so much for that super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. What's everyone's thoughts on James Garner? Would it be smart to bring him back or let him stay another season at Forest so he gets more game time? I think the interesting thing there is if we bring in someone like Kante, for example, or midfielders, which we should be bringing in, I would actually be tempted to think, you know what, another loan in the Prem, a bit like we did with Donny at Everton, loan him back to Forest if need be for another year. Depending on how much he's going to play, because it's no good for him and it's no good for us if we keep James Garner and he barely features. Do you know what I mean? If he sat on the bench, how's that developing his game? So I do think that maybe it depends who we sign, really. If we don't sign more midfielders, then Garner should get more game time. That's what I think we'll probably wait and see on that one. But Garner, I really rate him, and I watched quite a lot of Forest last season just for Garner, and I think he was always a standout player. His delivery on set pieces, by the way, is second to none. His quality. And he's definitely someone I want to see in a red shirt. Sooner rather than later. That's how you know he got me. But yeah, I would take Garner definitely. But I think the loan, depending on who we sign. What's your thoughts on that, Zeo? And don't say sharp.
I would talk to Forest and say, what's their plans for him? And if they're planning on playing him, like as much as they did last season, then I would let him stay there no matter what position we're in, with the option to be able to call him in January, be able to recall him in January if he's lighting it on fire and we need it. So I would put him before us, type of thing, in the hope that it pays off in the long term for us.
James the Shark Garner, yeah, that's the one. We do need a few sharks in our midfield, definitely. Lawbreaks have clicked that. I bet it's already been clicked. Should let me go to Real Madrid. Yeah, exactly. He's already going to Real Madrid, isn't he? Already going to Real Madrid. But yeah, I would love to see Garner tear it up as well. Of course I would. What the hell did Bayern Munich say? Hi, Cristiano is Ronaldo. What? I haven't seen that nowadays. I have not seen that.
What the hell did Bayern Munich say? Hi, Cristiano is Ronaldo. No, I can't.
Ronaldo ain't leaving us yet. Ronaldo ain't leaving us yet. Milinkovic Savic, we've been linked for. I remember my first days on United stand, and we were doing videos of Milinkovic Savic. Like, we've been linked with him for time. Good player, but I think he's just one of them. Grades is another one who we just constantly got linked with. Wesley Sneijder was another one. He's literally like that calibre of player we just get linked with every season. Forest, and we cover his wages if he plays a certain number of games, so encouraging Forest to play him regularly. Exactly, that'd be better for his development, playing in the Premier League week in, week out, than seeing him sat on a bench. If he's not going to get chances, what's the point in keeping him? Do you know what I mean? So I would definitely loan him out. What about Ahmad, though? Like, I saw a tweet the other day, and it said, you got to keep one, loan one, and sell one. And the 3 players were Ahmad, Pelistri, and Elanga.
Pelistri's gone.
What would you do? You'd sell Pelistri? Get in the chat and let me know as well.
Out of the 3 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gone.
I don't know why I said that so shocked then. Like, I'm not judging you. I was just clarifying what you said.
I think Elanga would be the one that I keep. And yeah, I think the way it is, I would sell Pelistri, I'd keep Elanga, and I'd loan Thingy again, but not to where we went. Rangers, was it?
Yeah. So hang on, let me put this in the chat so people can vote. Right, get in the chat, let me know.
And start ahead of who?
So Ahmad keep, Pelistri loan, Elanga sold. Keep Elanga, loan Ahmed, sell Pelistri, which is what you said. Ahmad needs to stay and start. I don't think he'll start just yet, but you know what, Elanga, I like him, and I think he was our surprise package last season. But no way should he be starting for a Man United team
as much as he did.
That's where I am. That's where I am with Elanga. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's still obviously young. He's got an over goal, and I like that. But is he really good enough to be starting week in, week out?
It shows the attitude
honestly
of the players, though, doesn't it? It shows where we was.
And in all fairness, his attitude, though, he's got the right attitude. He has.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He grafts. A lot of his goals were from him nicking the ball back and pressing high. But yeah, I don't know. Loan all 3 says show. That's an interesting one. Loan all 3 of them, so Elanga included in that.
But that's cheating. That's not part of the game.
Yeah, what are you cheating for, show? So breaking the rules. Sell Elanga, keep Ahmed, loan Pelistri. A few people saying sell Elanga.
Sell Elanga? What?
Keep Ahmed, sell Pelistri, and loan Elanga. I guess out of the 3 of them, a lot of people are thinking who's got the star quality, and you probably say Ahmed and Pelistri are the ones who have spoken about as having that star quality.
Spoke about
young. Exactly, we haven't seen it. We've seen more of Elanga, and I think a lot of people are probably making a judgment like I have that actually, is he good enough to be starting week in, week out? You'd probably say no, but I'm not judging the fact he started because he deserved to, because his attitude and his work rate was way above anybody else. Like, do you know what I mean?
The question was not
he
start,
deserved
it was
his
keep.
Yeah.
You're not starting at Ahmad, are you?
Show said, look, I'll make my own rules. Sell Elanga, loan Pelistri, keep Ahmad. It's interesting. Keep them all. We need to be going for the quad. Keep Ahmad, loan Pereira, and bring back Anderson and Jemba as well. Bring back
Anderson. I'll just switch team. Forget it.
Yeah, you
froze.
I love the videos of Ronaldo in the dressing rooms and that.
Say that again. You froze for me.
I said Anderson was like brought good vibes though, even though I know that he didn't really hit the heights. He brought good vibes.
It's easy to bring good vibes when you're winning all the time, isn't it?
True. Elanga for me, he's just fast and hard working. He's not a good all-round. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I don't know why we rushed him in, but I think he deserved to be starting when he was starting last season because we were so poor. Like Rashford's form was dreadful. Sancho hadn't really hit the heights. Sancho did come good at the end. That was another tweet I saw. I think it's Sports Bible said, "Who's the player that didn't really set the field alight this season, but you think is going to explode into it next season?" And I put Sancho down as my answer for that because I think Sancho, in a poor team, he was one of our few bright sparks, and I'm hoping next season under a manager like Ten Hag, he's going to flourish, and I think he will, to be fair. But let's see what Ten Hag can do, because we know Ten Hag is very good at working with young players. He might bring Elanga onto that next level. Hopefully he does. And that's just obviously a theoretical question. I'm not saying that's actually going to happen. I just wanted to throw it out there really to see what your thoughts are, because Pelistri we haven't seen much of. Ahmed we've seen a bit more of, but that loan at Rangers obviously didn't really work for him. And Elanga obviously we've seen quite a lot of, but I just don't think he's at the quality we should be having for a starter anyway. A bit like we said with McTominay, I think he's a good squad player to bring on. Like when you say near the end of the game and you want someone to go and press and just be a menace, basically. He is that guy, isn't he? And he has got an eye for goal, to be fair to him. But yeah, we'll see what happens in terms of our young players. Obviously, who's going to come back from loan and whatnot. We've already spoke about Martial, what things going to happen with him. But time will tell. Time will tell. But in terms of this whole Ralf thing, look, we're not inside. We don't really hear the conversations. It could be a case where Ten Hag and Ralf have spoken, their eyes don't align like you say, and Ten Hag might have said, you know what, you're probably better off going to focus on the job that you've got with Austria. Or Ralph's probably said, you know what, this isn't going to work. I'm going to focus on my job with Austria. Or it could be a case where actually he's pissed the Glazers off and the Glazers have said, see you later then. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't know. But from the outside looking in, it's just not good, is it? When you think you've finally got a plan, and before we even get going with that plan, it's gone to pot. This is...
I can't add to that. I can't add to that.
That literally sums us up, though.
Yeah, that is literally it. Like,
It sums us up.
It's looking dark.
Just when we thought like we were getting straight and narrow,
Yeah.
we've got a plan in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how long it's going to take for us to turn on Ten Hag when he goes through a bad patch, like you said. But I ain't going to turn on him. I ain't going to turn on any manager. Like,
you know me, I don't. I'll still get stick now.
Yeah.
I don't, because these players need to take some accountability, and we can't get any worse. Surely we can't get any worse. And I know a lot of people in chat say it's still going to get worse. I hope it doesn't, because I can't witness another season like we did last season, because that's the worst and the most disconnected I've felt from my club last season. I don't want to be feeling that again. Do you know what I mean? So time will tell. We'll see. Colour said their mutual consent he was pushed. Probably right, to be fair. But we've just got to look. We've got to back Ten Hag. We've got to hope that the club back Ten Hag. We've got to trust him. And like you said, we've got to be patient. And it's frustrating, but we've just got to hope that there is a backup plan in place for this, what's happened. But Zeo, thank you so much for joining me. As always, it's been a great chat. Please let people know where they can find you on socials. I know you got your new tune out at the minute as well, which was on One Extra with DJ Target, which is class. So congratulations to you. But yeah, let people know where they can find you and let them know what your new song is as well.
At Zeo Leonardo on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Check out my music. Nothing more to say. Oh, my streams have moved to Sundays now. Sundays.
I've noticed the change, yeah.
Yeah, so Sundays 8 o'clock, you can get your names or your shout outs mentioned in a song live on the spot. And say thanks for having me on Ladies in Red. Always great to get this therapy and not want to kill people.
Honestly, it's always a pleasure just to talk about United and just have a moment, basically. But that's what we do. But no, thank you so much for coming on. Go and check out Zeo's music. Definitely, like I say, playing on Radio 1 Extra at the minute with DJ Target. So definitely go and listen to that. But yeah, thank you, Zeo, for coming on. Guys, obviously, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Ladies in Red. Hit a like on the video. If I miss your comments, I do apologise. Just drop it afterwards and I will reply there. And thank you for the super chat as well from Duchels. I appreciate that. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Stay positive. You've got to smile, ain't you? You've got to smile. You've got to stay positive. Hopefully, tides will turn. Hopefully, we start to see some signings coming in and it'll lift the mood a little bit. But until then, guys, keep smiling and we'll see you all soon.